My girlfriend burst into her son's hotel room, found him cuddling his girlfriend, and had a meltdown until we realized she forgot her meds. So, here's the deal with this crazy trip I took with my lady and her kid. I've been with Kelly, who's 50, for just shy of 2 years now. I'm 48 myself. We decided to head out on a big family vacation with a bunch of folks, her son Ryan, who's 23, his girlfriend Emily, also 23, my sister, my brother-in-law Bill, my niece, and her boyfriend. We're all crashing at this hotel, trying to soak up some good times. Now, Ryan's not just some kid to me, I've known him darn near 10 years. I coached him back in high school, and we hit it off real good. He's like my own boy in a way. He's been sweet on Emily since they were in school together, too. Things got nuts when we were figuring out this getaway. Kelly laid down this rule that Ryan couldn't bunk with Emily. I thought she was just yanking my chain, so I laughed it off. Turns out she meant every word. I didn't see the big deal. Ryan's told me himself he's been with girls since he was a teenager, and he's a man now. I just said sure, whatever, and we set it up so he'd share a room with my niece's boyfriend, while Emily paired up with my niece. I knew that wasn't gonna hold water for long. Nobody really cared about the setup anyhow. The girls even had themselves a little sleepover the first night, giggling and all. Ryan caught on quick that this was all to keep his mom from flipping out. I tossed him his room key and said, "Give the spare to whoever you want." He didn't hesitate, handed it straight to Emily. My niece followed suit, passing her extra key to her boyfriend. It's what we all figured would happen anyway. Then, the next morning, things went sideways. Ryan forgot his wallet in our room the night before. I thought Kelly just drop it off at breakfast, or maybe tap on his door, or shoot him a text. Nope, she grabbed our key, marched over, and waltzed right into his room like she owned the place. What she walked in on sent her into a tailspin. Ryan and Emily were tangled up together, no clothes on, though they had the blankets pulled up over their legs. They weren't in the middle of anything, just lying there, cozy, with him running his hand along her back. Looked like two people who'd been close for a while, winding down after some alone time. Kelly went off the deep end, though, screaming, crying, the works. She wouldn't even come eat with us. I told her it was fine to take a breather, but she wasn't about to turn our vacation into a circus. Emily came up to me after, real nice-like, and said she was sorry, knowing Kelly can get worked up. That just made me feel lousy for her. I went back to our room to check on Kelly, and she was still fuming. She started unloading about how mad she was, and I told her she ought to be glad she only saw them cuddling and not something more heated. That lit her fuse all over again. I said she was blowing it out of proportion. Ryan's a grown-up, been with Emily for years. Kelly's let slip before that she's not big on Emily, but I don't get it. She's got a wild streak, sure, and Ryan's more straight-laced, but she's a good gal who's crazy about him, and he's the same way about her. When I pointed that out, Kelly let me have it, called me every name under the sun, said Ryan's still a baby, and accused me of siding with Emily over her. I started getting worried then. She's never gone off like this, and I wondered if she left her mood pills at home. She's on stuff to keep her steady, and now she's giving me the cold shoulder. Everybody else is out enjoying the beach, but she's stuck inside, pouting. Alright, here's an update for you all who've been keeping up. Thanks to everyone who threw in their 2 cents. I liked the smart tips and got a chuckle out of the goofy ones. I read every word, even if I didn't write back. Before I dive in, let me set a couple things straight. I know Kelly's got some mental struggles. She's been going to therapy steady and takes medicine to keep her head on right. But in the 2 years we've been a couple, I never saw anything too wild till now. She and Ryan used to fight like cats and dogs, but things have smoothed out lately, from what I can tell and what he said. With Emily, Kelly's never been flat out rude, but they ain't buddies either. I'm real careful not to let folks take advantage of me, Kelly included. I don't put up with garbage. When she first said Ryan and Emily couldn't sleep in the same room, I figured she was joking around. It sounded so out there I couldn't take it serious. I was at my desk, locking down the hotel rooms, and when she dropped that line, I laughed a little, and we moved on to something else. Didn't think for a second she was for real. Then we get to the hotel, and she brings it up again in the lobby. I looked at her like she'd lost her mind. She didn't kick up a fuss, and I was beat, so I just handed out the keys and told everybody to sort it out however they wanted. I was out cold in bed an hour later. Next day, I'm on the beach and pull Ryan aside first cause I've known him forever. I said sorry for Kelly's blow up. He was cool about it, even said he was sorry for stirring the pot, which I told him was nonsense, he didn't do a thing wrong. Then he started talking about how Kelly used to smother him growing up, something he calls emotional incest. Said she's still gotta work on that now that he's on his own. I had a word with Emily too, and she echoed the same stuff. Ryan's always been tough about making sure Kelly treats Emily decent. If she don't, he'll leave her be for a spell till she shapes up. I asked them both what Kelly's got against Emily. They didn't have a clear answer. Emily mentioned this one time, though, right before Ryan moved out. Kelly caught them in the act, not just cuddling, but full on together. They just graduated high school. Ryan was a few months shy of 19, Emily had just hit 18. Kelly lost her marbles, worse than this time even. That fight pushed Ryan to pack up and live with Emily's family, and he said it crushed Kelly. He told her straight up he was done talking to her unless she got help, and that's what finally got her into therapy. The day this all went down, Kelly snagged an emergency slot with her therapist. After that, she simmered down a ton, and we got to sit and hash things out. I won't spill the deep stuff, it's too personal, but I'll cover the main bits. First off, I asked her, what in tarnation's going on with you? She said seeing Ryan like that hit her hard, tied up, and how she's too attached to him. She brought up him leaving home, something we'd never dug into before. Said she's got old wounds from raising him solo after his dad, a guy she was with for just a few weeks, took off. She thought he'd stay for the baby, but he left her high and dry. I pressed her on why she don't like Emily. She came out swinging, saying Emily's too mouthy and's got Ryan wrapped around her finger. I told her to say it better, and she said Emily's got big opinions and Ryan climbed mountains for her. I think Emily's great, she's sharp, polite, even if she speaks her mind. Ryan's head over heels, says she's the most fascinating person he knows. They ain't flawless, I saw them squabble over some fruit yesterday, but they're a good pair. I told Kelly she should be proud her boy loves his girl so much he'd do anything for her. That perked her up a bit. Her therapist thinks maybe menopause is throwing her off, like some folks online said too. Said her meds might need a tweak cause this freakout wasn't her usual self, and she's been up and down lately. I wasn't gonna ask about her pills at first, I take antidepressants myself, and it burns me up when folks brush off my anger like I forgot M. But I had to know, and yep, she'd left her mood medicine behind. Her sister's coming next week with more, thank the stars. Then me, Ryan, and Emily all sat down together. There was some apologizing, a bit of crying, and a heap of hugging. Sounds like they've had these talks before. We got into how Kelly ended up with Ryan's wallet. He don't lose stuff, wallet, keys, phone, nothing. They went back and forth on whether she took it, but she said no, and Emily reckoned it slipped out when he was on our couch. The big thing we chewed over was Kelly barging in without asking. She couldn't say why she did it, but she agreed with Emily that she wanted to catch them slipping. Ryan set her straight on boundaries, I've seen him do it before, and it's something else, knowing he used to just let her call the shots to keep her happy. Kelly fessed up to her part and laid out what she'd talked about with her therapist. Ryan and Emily took it real kind, showing her some heart. Emily thanked her for owning up and even pitched getting a drink together. We all said this whole mess was ridiculous and just wanted to have fun on the trip. Kelly pulled herself together after that and joined us. I'm finally breathing easy, feeling like I can unwind. Since then, it's been all beach days, tasty food, cold drinks, and naps. I ain't got a single complaint. Alright, here's a wild one about me and my wife that's been tearing me up lately. I'm 35, she's 32, and we've been hitched for 7 years now. We used to live right next door to each other, and when we met, it was like something out of a storybook, we just got each other. I always figured what kept us tight was how we were best buddies and could count on each other no matter what. But lately, she's acting like that trust never existed. So, my buddy Jeff, he's 34, got himself into a mess. His wife, who's 32, quit taking her birth control pills a few months after they started dating and got pregnant. She didn't tell him till after they tied the knot. Jeff's from one of those real strict families, and she knew it, so he felt like he had to marry her once the baby was on the way. Now he's stuck in that mess, figuring he made a promise to her and the kid, even though it's a rotten situation. It's eating at him, but he's hanging in there. That whole deal shook my wife up something fierce. I don't know why it hit her so hard, but it did. See, we're expecting our first kid, I'm 4 months along with her, and out of nowhere, she up and asked me if I was trying to trick her into having this baby to lock her down. I laughed at first cause I thought she was pulling my leg. She wasn't. She got real serious and pushed it, so I told her we've been married 7 years already, how's a baby gonna trap her more than that? She didn't like that one bit. Said there's no expiration date on tricking someone with a kid, and since I laughed, she reckoned my heart wasn't honest. Told me she used to believe in me, but me chuckling at her made her doubt everything. I didn't even know what to say to that, I was stumped. I just told her we'd figure it out in the morning. Well, come sunrise, she was gone. No note, nothing, just a mean text from her brother, who's 28, saying I'd pushed her into this pregnancy when we'd both wanted it from the start. She's off the grid now, won't pick up my calls, won't text back, and I'm sitting here wondering how to pick up the pieces. If anybody's got some wisdom, I'd sure take it. Now, here's a little follow-up for you folks who pitched in with advice. Thanks a ton, I didn't reply cause my post got shut down fast, but I read every single thing you sent. I owe you one. Reading through it all, I realized you were right, I should have been madder. She'd stabbed at our whole marriage with what she said, and it took a while to sink in. I was so torn up and lost I didn't even feel the anger at first, but it's there now. While I was sorting that out, I rang up my best pal, she's 31 and been my rock forever. She swung by with some chocolate and got steamed when I told her the story. After I spilled my guts, she called her husband, he's 34 and a family lawyer, and he came over too. He said he'd take my side if I wanted to split up, and he'd get the divorce papers ready by Monday. That guy's a real stand-up fella. Not long after, my mother-in-law, she's 66, rolled up with my wife in tow. She'd dragged her back from her parents' place. Said my wife showed up late last night, swearing I'd used the baby to tie her down. Lucky for me, my mother-in-law's sharp as a tack, she chewed her out good and hauled her over to say sorry. My wife wouldn't even look at me, just mumbled that she was scared of being a mom and took it out on me. Said she wasn't sure she could handle it but claimed she'd step up now, like she's some kind of hero. I rolled my eyes, called her a chicken, and told her to stay at her folks till I was ready to deal with her. I kept quiet about the divorce papers, didn't know how she'd take it, but she'll find out soon enough. I showed my mother-in-law that nasty text from my brother-in-law, and her face went dark. Something's brewing there, and it won't be pretty. Right now, I'm beat, I just want to crawl into a ball and let it out. My buddy's sticking around tonight, we're gonna watch some dumb movies. I set up a therapy session for next week, but for now, I need a break. I'm gutted our marriage fell apart like this. Sorry it's a downer, y'all. Here's the latest for everybody who's been asking how I'm holding up, thanks for all the kind words and tips. Things have calmed down a touch. Good news first, I had a doctor's visit, and my mother-in-law came with me. The baby's doing great, and we found out it's a girl. I'm over the dang moon about it. My mother-in-law was a champ, loved that I let her tag along and can't wait to be a grandma. A couple days later, she set up a family lunch. I wasn't too keen, but I knew she meant well and wouldn't stir the pot worse. When I got there, my wife was there with her brother, plus my father-in-law, he's 70, and my mother-in-law. It was tense as heck till my mother-in-law asked if anybody had something to say. Her brother went first, saying sorry for that rotten text. Said he got caught up backing my wife. I told him how much it stung to get that spiteful message, he knew darn well we'd been trying for a kid almost a year. He just looked down and muttered something, didn't hear much from him after that. Then my mother-in-law gave my wife a hard stare, but she wouldn't meet anybody's eyes. Finally, my mother-in-law laid it out, said my wife wasn't welcome at their place anymore. She was ashamed of how her daughter acted and wanted room for her granddaughter, not some deadbeat hanging around. My wife started to talk earlier, but when she heard granddaughter, she lit up. She's always wanted a girl, started crying, saying she was thrilled, trying to touch my belly, asking to come home and fix up the nursery. I shut that down fast, told her she wasn't welcome, that she'd smashed every bit of trust one had. Said if I let her back, I'd always be waiting for her to bolt when big stuff happened, and I can't live with a quitter by my side. She asked if I was ending it, and I flat out said I'd got a lawyer. She started freaking out, but I felt calm, like a weight lifted off me. Usually, I'd be bawling, but I was just done. She said it wasn't fair, she just panicked a little, and now I'm tossing our life away, keeping her from our daughter. My father-in-law piped up, reminding her this was the same kid she felt stuck with 2 weeks ago. She called it a mistake, said she was stressed. My mother-in-law asked how she thought I felt carrying a baby, giving everything, and then getting accused by the one person I trusted. My wife said she messed up, blamed her fears again. I told her I was shattered when she took off. I had dreams of us in our family, and she smashed em to bits. She swore she wanted that too, wanted our girl, but the fear got her. I said that don't cut it for what she put me through. She didn't even look scared when her mom had to drag her back to apologize. All she could say was she's ready now and wants our daughter. Never once said sorry for real, though, in all her begging. After a long, rough talk, lunch ended. My mother-in-law stuck to her guns. My wife's out of their house. She asked again to come home, and I told her it's my place, I owned it before we married, and it's my safe spot now. She's not stepping foot in it. Last I heard, she's at some hotel. Friday, she got served divorce papers at work. My buddy's husband drew em up earlier, but I waited till I was sure. She's been blowing up my phone with missed calls and teary voicemails, asking if I'm really throwing us away. I ain't answered. She even sent a weepy picture of herself in her car. My friend got a good laugh out of that. My mother-in-law called when she heard, said I'm doing right. She didn't want my marriage to crash like this or her daughter to turn cold, but she's here for me and the baby, says we're family no matter what. Tried to say sorry for my wife, but I told her it's not her burden, my wife owns her choices. My best friend's been with me all weekend. We went shopping for baby clothes to brighten things up. She's been solid as a rock, and her husband's been a huge help with the legal stuff. I don't know what's next, but I'm feeling steadier, like I'm on the right path. I'll let y'all know if anything big pops up, but for now, I just want to get through this and bring my little girl into the world. Send us some good vibes.